and how they could turn things that are very difficult, very hard, but they could get over it and really control it because they had control. They knew what to do. And it doesn't tire you because you're full of energy in that situation. You feel powerful, you feel undefeatable. And that is a great state. We would all want to stay in that state. You know, especially when something happens that is not in any way whatsoever predictable, you could not think or fathom that it could happen. Or maybe it's something urgent that comes up, something that really challenges you. Well, you know, in some of these circumstances, you may what we call freaking out. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn to. You don't even know where to begin. Okay, so you know, these things happen. There's nothing you can do about it, but you can decrease the rate at which they show up. You will always have situations like this, situations where you just don't know what to do, but you know that you have to solve the problem. Okay, so what do? You have to call an expert, a friend, um, well, I don't know, something, anybody whom you believe has an answer for what is going on. Now, the thing in itself, as I said, is not avoidable. You cannot do anything about it. But the problem is when this becomes a habit. In other words, things that make you freak out become more, you know, show up more often, and they really challenge you. Then there's some weakness in you that you have to solve, and we'll see how. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, don't forget to click on the like button. And if you don't want to miss more videos like this that can contribute to your personal and professional growth, subscribe now to the channel. As a matter of fact, I have a graph here for you where we have the 4 situations that can show up, okay, or the four quadrants in where we operate mainly in one of these 4. We might find ourselves in any of these 4, but we usually operate in one specifically. And except for the last one, they're not very good. Some are even like they really suck. So we must avoid it at all. And we'll see what it is here. This graph, on one side you see control, and at the bottom you see effort. In other words, you have situations where you have to deal with both control or lack thereof, and the effort that you have to put in a certain thing, in a certain activity. So the first quadrant is passivity. Now, I don't want to indulge into this too much because it's quite simple, okay? You don't have much control of what is going on, but at the same time, it doesn't require much effort. It's not really that important. Okay, so you can handle it. And even if you don't handle it well, who cares? It's not really important. Okay, you don't have control, so what? But that is an area where many people spend most of their time in. Okay, doing the same things that are easy for you, that don't require any effort, and where you don't really need that much control. That's a situation where people will try to stuck. Why? Because it's okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay, it doesn't produce anything in your life. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't change your life, but at least it makes it easy. The next one, the next area is where you don't have to put that much effort into it, but you have more control in what you do. And that is what we call comfort zone, right? So that's where you look for comfort. Okay, even though you have a lot of control, because maybe it's something that about your work that you've been doing a lot, so you know every aspect of a certain activity, and so you have a lot of control, and it doesn't really require a lot of effort. It's not like passivity, because passivity, you don't even have that much control. Here you have total control because you have gained it, because you've earned it, because you've learned it. And so you can go about it much more easily. The third area, and here that's where things get interesting, is pressure. Pressure is where you have to put a lot of effort and you have a lot of control. That's where like leaders and people with great experience and knowledge and they have a certain position, they love that situation. Why? Because it challenges them, but it challenges them in a good, healthy way. People who do a lot in their lives, and there's plenty of them. We have, famous people that have written books whose lives we know very well, who have been through a lot, but they had control, inner control and outer control. How they managed it emotionally inside and mentally inside, and how they managed it outside, and how they could turn things that are very difficult, very hard, but they could get over it and really control it because they had control. They knew what to do. And it doesn't tire you because you're full of energy in that situation. You feel powerful, you feel undefeatable. And that is a great state. We would all want to stay in that state. The other one, the last one, is not a very good one. That's the worst. That's stress. Why? Because just like for the pressure situation, you have to put a lot of effort, but you have no control. You have little control. You don't know what to do. So that's where you freak out. That's when we say freak out. In the other situations, you don't freak out a lot. Not that much. Perhaps in passivity in certain occasions, but not really. But here, oh yeah, here, yes. Okay, you freak out because you have no control or very little control. And that's where stress comes in, and that destroys you. It sucks all your energy. You even get depressed. You get tired very easily. You don't sleep at night. You get angry. You get upset. All of this because it's not the effort the problem. The effort is never the problem as we suffer pressure. What makes a difference is the amount of control that you have. What you know, what you can do, what is your experience, what's your background, how you feel about things, how you think about things. That is what makes the difference, where you feel you are in control. So this is where I want to spend the rest of this episode, is how you can get more control, how you can make things that even if they are hard, but you can handle them, and it makes you feel in control and in power. The first idea is to do some gym. What does that mean? Do more and more of what you're doing that right now is causing you some little distress, but just practice it. Do it over and over and over again. Don't stick in comfort zone where you feel you have control, and then when something happens, you don't know what to do because you no longer have control, and you have more effort. You have to put more into it. Don't get to that point. Okay, so practice yourself in that. Another thing is to learn, to study, to get deeper into things. Now, you cannot study and learn about everything. That's why you cannot really predict things that are not predictable. If a hurricane comes or an earthquake, God forbid, I mean, what are you going to do about it? You just have to find a way to get through it, possibly without freaking out. But the things that you know that could be important for you, those you have to learn. The third thing is to become more and more aware of how systems work. Now, systems is my specialty, okay? So that's how nature works. In nature, I said this in other episodes, it's all about laws, forces, and dynamics. When you understand these three things, now this is one matter that you should get deeper into. So go back to point 2. If you want to, I can, there are some videos, some episodes that I did about systems, and, you can learn from that. You can learn how systems work. When you know how nature works, and everything around you is nature, even at work, even in your home with your family, it's all nature. It's not, we don't live in a matrix, thank God. Well, perhaps we even do, I don't know, but not made by machines. The fourth thing is to delegate what is urgent but not important. If you are aware of that time management matrix, also called the Eisenhower matrix, where you have important and urgent. Okay, so you take care of the important things. Okay, let others take care of the urgent things that are not important, but stick to those. You have to delegate. You cannot do everything on your own. Otherwise, you're going to freak out because, okay, I said that the effort or the amount of work is not really the problem, and it isn't. But still, if you have to take care of everything, you can't do it. I mean, we're still humans. So delegate the things that are important, are urgent but not important. And finally, define your mission. When you have a purpose, when you have something that you really cherish, that you feel inside of yourself, something that you want to make real, go for it. Don't stop. Don't let anybody stop you with that. Okay, they're not going to be able to stop you, because when you feel you have purpose, then you will look for the pressure. You will love the pressure, because you know that through that pressure, you will go towards your purpose, your mission, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but having, in fact, out of the five, I think this is the most important one. When you have your mission defined, everything else sort of gets into place, because you'll know better what to do. Because when you have the mission straight, things are going to get better. See you next time.